We've shared this planet since the dawn of man. But as our world expands into theirs, more and more wild animals lose their families. And their very existence on Earth is in danger.
Born to narrate animal movies. The Morgan Freeman story. That fool narrates a movie about an animal, man.
He does.
He'll narrate about
That's why he's the go-to guy now.
He is.
It's like I'm too old to constantly be getting up there and killing people alongside Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read the phone book or whatever I'm paid to do.
Whenever I hear that guy's voice, I always go, poor James Earl Jones. What Star Wars movie even fucked him up?
Well, I'm sure when Morgan Freeman's agent calls him, he's like, all right, is it another animal movie or am I going to be another white guy's sidekick?
Either way, I'm in.
Or the magical Negro. Don't forget.
Yeah, well, that's part of being the sidekick.
Oh, is that? It's a different thing from the sidekick. But
No, it's all magical.
That's the
Negro doesn't
more
always have magical powers.
Okay,
But
right.
he drops that knowledge.
Wisdom.
So that's the
Yes.
more PC term.
Okay.
His sidekick is better than magical
Sidekick.
Negro.
You
can't say that.
No, this is Born to be Wild.
I was a lot different than I was expecting from the Fourth Bourne movie. I mean, wow.
Hey, man, at some point, wouldn't they use orangutans to be secret
I'd
agents?
say Matt Damon's looking like shit.
I know Matt Damon's looking pretty hairy. That guy needs to shave, man. But this is a documentary. It's one of those. Apparently, Disney is very interested in saving the planet, or at least saving certain species of animals from going extinct because they need them for their theme parks. And
Is that Warner Brothers?
no, this is
Says Warner Brothers.
Does it? What is it? Warner Brothers? Mm-hmm. Well, okay, they like animals too. And, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad to see more studios interested in Mother Earth right here.
Interested that there is money in saving the planet.
Exactly. No, you know something? One of the reasons why I probably got the studio wrong is because this movie came out of nowhere. It's 3D at the IMAX film, and Leon and I both got in and it's short. And so by the time,
I'll say it's short. It's like if you get your popcorn before the movie starts, or actually don't even don't get popcorn, because as you reach down to get a handful of it, you look up, the credits will be rolling.
Yeah, it's 40 minutes long, which is
Yeah,
not really a movie.
Yeah.
It's an IMAX feature.
Yeah.
Which is the way
Yeah.
they,
Or kids, instead of black time, you can always go and just show up early to the film, and you can see it all.
Yeah, that website that says Run P for this, it says the credits, because if you get up in any other part, you're gonna miss it. So Leon and I saw about 15 minutes of this, but
then you saw the movie.
Yeah, we got there
Yeah.
15 minutes late and saw 15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I missed anything.
You missed nothing.
No,
I mean,
not really.
as near as I could tell, it was 40 minutes of somebody wagging their finger at the audience going, you need to be saving these orangutans and elephants.
Well, pretty much.
What are you doing? You need to be saving them. All right. Well, how do I save? I'm not telling you how. You just need to do it.
This is the whole new a Disney fueled documentary style, which is like Oceans and all these ones. What was the first one they did was just Earth
Planet
or
Earth,
something like that.
just Planet
Where
Earth, they
it's
turned
like
it
they're
to
not
Earth, yeah.
really documentaries.
Yeah.
They're more like an object lesson and lots of cute shit. Where it's like I've actually coined the term in my own usage, documentaries. 'Cause that's all you do. You just sit there and go, oh.
Let's
But
not-
there's no
let's-
real knowledge being dropped per se, except hey, they're endangered. Well, no shit, Sherlock.
That's the thing. It's like, this is what we do to take care of orangutans, and this is what we do to take care of these elephants. And they come live with us, and then they go off with the other the ex-orphans. And good night, everybody.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
all.
see, I hear y'all talking, I know that's probably what you got out of it. I don't feel like it's doing anything but probably just bringing awareness to people. I mean, I never got the feeling that I was being scolded or I was being made to feel guilty. I just felt like, look, this is what's happening. It's shitty, and maybe you can't do something. Maybe most of the people in this theater can't do something. But one person who sees it and decides to do something is better than just not telling anybody at all. I actually appreciate these kind of films.
I agree with you. There's never a moment where I felt like they were pointing at me going, I'm the reason why this is happening. You're the fuck up. It's just like, it's just something that's been going on.
That's because
And-
Leon
and-
is the one who fucked up.
Oh, that's
He's doing it.
Pissed off at him.
Yeah.
Leon is wearing a dead orangutan around his neck right now like a collar.
You say that, but when wintertime comes, my gorilla skin coat.
Morgan Freeman's ended every sentence with Leon.
And where am I supposed to keep my umbrellas? Except
movie
in
should
the
have
elephant's foot.
The movie should have told you you need to come in on time so you're not interrupting when you're opening up that big ass door, letting in on that goddamn light, hit the screen.
Yeah, what can you?
Is this where the party is?
I know the movie's kind of like, well, this is what you can do for helping animals keep them from becoming extinct. But you two motherfuckers, you can keep this from disturbing people by getting in here on time and shut that goddamn door.
I don't think it was trying to guilt you. It's just another like, yeah, this is the problem. I mean, it was like one of those things like, who doesn't know that orangutans and elephants are endangered? So I'm like, okay, you're not breaking a lot of new ground, but I agree with you, Corey, that it's good that whether or not I think this is a good film in a film sense, it's good that things like this are coming out and being produced because there's lots of kids who need to see this sort of thing to have those awe moments and have it put in them. This is so sad that these creatures are dying. So somebody is gonna give a shit.
It was sad because I think about all the years I grew up watching Marlon Perkins on Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom, and man, he could never have done stuff like this in 3D on IMAX. It's just sad that he's not alive to see this.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I thought that the movie, what the movie did most importantly was point out the two women who've been, protecting these young elephants and these orangutans. And, pretty much the film let everyone know who these two unsung heroes are, who've done this their whole lives, who, just basically decided to put their life on hold for a little while, take care of these animals, and, basically still managed to find some time to actually have a family in these crazy locations where you just never think who's going to take the time out to raise a family.
Did they show them having families?
Yeah, they showed some of them. They had like their grandkids like actually helping out with the animals. Yeah,
I was going to say there was like it never felt like they explored that. I was like,
well, no,
I was going to say, wait, they had families with the orangutans.
That's and that that's the main problem with the film though is that. At least for me, I was really so fascinated with who these women were and actually what they were doing. But the movie really skims over it because it is so short, and they don't really waste any time as far as going into how these people came into like getting involved in this type of work. They just kind of give you like the meat of it.
And the women that you're talking about, co-host, are I believe Beirut Galdikas and Daphne Sheldrick.
Thousands of miles away in Indonesia, Dr. Barute Galdikas continues her lifelong effort to save orphaned orangutans. Over 300 of them live here at her care center on the island of Borneo. All these orangutans are here for one reason. Their mothers have been killed and their forest home cut down.
Makan.
These are the lucky ones who survived.
And you're right. They show that people. I mean, just looking at these two people right here, these are people who have given their lives against incredible odds, which seem almost hopeless to trying to like not only preserve animals but preserve a whole environment, the preserve that these animals live in.
And too bad they don't have names like Madonna and Lady Gaga, so you can honestly remember who they are. Their names. I just reading those names like I'm not fucking remembering. That's the only sad thing about it.
Exactly.
After he said them, I was like, wait, what? What were we talking about? I remember cute elephants in a room.
But really, the movie is just a big like odd jerk off. Where all it is showing you these orangutans how they are like people. They're actually like babies, and these elephants like just seeing the elephants really interact with the people who are taking care of them, which I found really fascinating.
Yeah.
To where these other groups of people who actually stay in these habitats with these animals, how really close they get with these animals, and you just see like that bond with them on screen for the short amount of time it's on there. You do realize there is a huge strong bond, even to the point where a lot of these animals, and I'm talking about both the elephants and the orangutans, they come back in certain specific spots when they actually let the orangutans who are able to go out and be free, how they come back and see these people who they actually somehow recognize from all that time that's passed.
It's similar to like one of those documentaries you see about a special charter school or Marva Collins, where the kids from an area that's high crime get to go to a special school and graduate, and they come back and and kind of mentor the younger kids.
This is more
who are
like
there.
waiting for Grape Ape.
Plus, one thing I like about the movie is like, hey, wow, I got to see a movie with orangutans and elephants where they weren't singing songs and talking.
Made them,
Even-
they
yeah.
would have, because this film did everything it could to poke these things and say,
It did.
that's not cute enough, you little
I know.
shit. Cuter.
I was waiting for that trunk to come in and grab one of those Dumbo elephants and just go, "Don't you cry, little Dumbo."
You know,
or they're like, ooh, I want to be just like you.
Yeah.
one of the complaints about this film is that the 3D in and of itself, I mean, and let's face it, you're paying full price, IMAX price for a 40-minute film.
Fuck
The 3D is just there to give you the idea of immersiveness. Like, oh, look, I'm really in the room with this orangutan, which at this point, it's just not enough anymore with 3D
Well,
stuff.
I have to admit, it does work though. It does work. I mean, just there's scenes where you really feel like you're there watching these animals
As
play.
long as you
and
don't
goof
tilt your
around.
head to
You know,
slightly to the
it's
side.
because it's funny you bring that up because I was watching some of the 3D as they walk through the brush, and I remember back in 1999 when Disney did Tarzan, and they had that they're technically called deep forest, where they did the layering and it gave you that feel. But then watching it with real life, I was like, well, it's layered, but it's flat. It's like I'm watching a bunch of flat layers, and it's just not the 3D is not translating the way I feel like they want it to.
Well, you
So
know,
it was kind of taking me out of it.
I'm the person that enjoyed the 3D, and it's not because I was passionate about the movie. It's like when I haven't seen a lot of IMAX movies. I mean, there was at least in a long time. There was a time when we were going to IMAX movies when we were doing the Access show, and there would be things that you knew we didn't want to see. It was a movie about the space, there was a movie about the space shuttle, and there was another movie we saw about fucking rocks, and it was like
In 3D.
That's what I'm saying. It's like looking at it, it's like, hey man, this is the most boring shit in the world.
Got
But you
stoned to appreciate that.
But
movie.
when it looks like that rock is about to hit you in the fucking head, it's like, wow, this is amazing. I've never cared about rocks that much as I do now. In fact, made me want to go out and not save monkeys. Made me want to save rocks. I'm passionate about rocks.
It made me want to see the functions of a toilet bowl in 3D.
Yeah, anything, man.
Awesome.
But the 3D, the 3D in it is actually, you're right. It's very immersive. And I know what you're talking about, Cyrus. There is sort of a doubling effect when you just happen to tilt your head the wrong way, or if you're not sitting in the right spot of the theater. But when you do hit that sweet spot, there were scenes in there where, and I'm not making a joke here, where bugs were flying around on screen, and I put my hand in front of my face to brush it away because I didn't know if that was a real bug in the theater or if it was on the screen.
Those were actually bugs, Corey.
Okay, well, there you go.
Nasty, dude.
They actually released bugs in the theater for effect. When the water was there, I felt like, wow, I feel like I'm actually traveling down this canal while I'm in this canoe or whatever.
Yeah,
And
you actually pissed your pants.
I did. I was sitting checking my shoe for elephant shit and orangutan shit. Man, I think it's the 3D that I really do enjoy about the film, and it's the novelty of being an IMAX movie that made me enjoy it even more than I probably would just watching it as a non-3D movie, especially a non-3D IMAX film. But I understand what you're saying. I mean, I go to these movies with the same attitude. I just think, maybe our feeling of disappointment comes from different areas, because I'm like, fuck, man, I got to go see how humans are fucking up the planet again. I always walk out feeling depressed after that. And
Well, it makes you want to. It's one of those movies that makes you want to actually go and do some research for yourself.
Well,
because,
that's the problem, though, is that it doesn't give you enough information,
Right.
and you walk out just kind of feeling like you didn't get much from it.
No, you didn't.
Like, I mean, I love watching whole documentary series,
Sure.
like the actual original Planet Earth. Fucking great, so much information. This is like it's just barely glossing over stuff,
It seems like it was more shot for kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Really. I mean, that's what it really felt like.
which is the new trend of these theatrical.
and I don't mind that either, because it takes me back to when Disney used to do their nature series of films, where it was kind of the same thing. I mean, back then it was more Disney telling you, "Wow, nature's fucked up." I mean, if you don't have, if you're not on top of the food chain, then that's your ass.
Well, yeah, but they would do that. They would have like that guy doing that sort of humorous voiceover. It's kind of warm and fuzzy. Oh, that little wren, he got away again.
You mean Goofy?
No, I mean, but it reminded me of that today, where the problems are more urgent and they're a little more bleak, and that's sad, and so therefore they've made a movie for kids and they had to have softened it up a little bit. And I understand that going in there. I'm not expecting to learn a whole lot because I know the audience that they're speaking to. I mean, I'm sure that there's some stuff on the cutting room floor where an elephant trampled some guy to death, or a orangutan went crazy on somebody and knocked their fucking face off or something. But
that's all I kept thinking about. It's like, come on, show it how these things are like 10 times as strong as the people who are babying them.
Yeah, where's that bottle of wine? Let's make something interesting happen.
I'm sure somebody came in with something shiny and a orangutan, motherfucker, give me that thing. It's like I'm not expecting to see that. I don't think that really happened. I don't think it was that bad. But I do think that there were things that they did not show you that were extreme. I mean, they do gloss over things like this elephant's parents died at the hands of poachers, and they don't show you the poachers. They don't even show you any of those grim effects of the elephant being traumatized. They do show you enough, but they don't need to labor on it because it's a family film.
Well, regardless of that, I mean, the one thing I will say, the positive thing about the film I'll say, is that it does actually make you think, wow, you know what I do for a living, it's kind of pointless. Like, it made you think, yeah, maybe I need to go out in the fucking jungle and help some of these animals out.
Not some of these animals out. Think that even for
it's like
half a second.
Because honestly, you see like the people working with these animals, and you're like, wow, that's kind of a noble cause. Sure, a lot of people who are used to sitting on their ass watching TV all the day, sucking the air out, sucking the air away from me on the internet. They're not really doing anything. These people are at least trying to make a difference in the world, and it really just makes you go, wow, that's a fucking cool job. I would not mind. I would have no problems with throwing everything down and just going to do some work like that.
Send us a postcard from Bumfuckistan.
No. This is a cool job.
Yeah,
we watch movies for free and chicks dig us and we get paid for it.
Wait a minute.
That's a cool job.
Wait a minute. Chicks dig us? Hold on now. Wait a minute. Stop right now. All right.
But that out there in Africa stepping in monkey shit, that ain't on the list of cool jobs.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm stepping in your shit.
Yeah. I got to put up with your shit every day. What are you talking about?
Not only did I say like, oh man, I should help them out. I looked at it, I was like, okay, well these broads got it covered. Looks like the orangutans, elephants in shape.
I'll put $5 in an envelope. Send it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, Leon's right. Chick dig us. They dig us a grave when they get tired of our shit and plan on destroying us. Because I talked about this, and I sincerely mean this. I've often thought about this. I mean, when I went to that depression stage of like, I don't know if I want to do what we do right here anymore, I thought, well, I don't know what it is, but this is a highlight. I'd really like to go. Every time I see one of these, it makes me inspired. Like if I had nothing else going for me, I would not mind packing my bags and going somewhere like that and helping out in a cause like that. That's how much I kind of believe in it. And look, I'm not saying I'm above anybody else. I'm not doing shit either. I'm sitting up here talking about the animals instead of trying to help them. But if I had nothing else, I would want to do it.
Yeah. It's either do that or pull Bruce Wayne. So
look, I tell you how you guys can do both. Become poacher hunters.
Yeah, there you go.
That's actually what I want to see, because the poachers are the assholes, and they don't even, they mention like, yeah, poachers took them out. But it's like, man, somebody needs to do something about the fucking poachers.
Yeah, and besides, some animals are dicks.
I'm just saying. Yeah, you got a good point, Cyrus.
I'm not looking to take care of sharks or anything.
Now, if you want to, dress up as camouflage Batman and go after these poachers, I'm all behind you.
That's Leon's language.
I'll do that for you.
Leon's always thinking of like, what excuse do I have to become a superhero to go out and fight anything? He's gonna be the next Phoenix Jones out there walking in the jungle, though.
No, he's gonna be the next dead black guy out there.
Stop, villain! Release that toucan! Boom, boom! My wrath.
Yeah, the director of this is a guy named David Lickey, I believe his name, David Lickley, and he's directed a lot of documentaries. I don't think I've seen any of them. I might have seen one of his documentaries about Jane Goodall, maybe, because I've seen so many things about Jane Goodall. But this guy obviously knows what he's doing when it comes to nature documentaries, and is very evident here, because I think there's some amazing shots. I mean, not only are there some just, you got to have some amazing cinematography for just the wide scope of 70mm IMAX, but at the same time, he manages to capture just fascinating scenes of animal behavior. I mean, when it's something to make you think about next time when you this is something to show to people when they say, oh, animals have no souls or emotions, they don't feel anything, they're driven by instinct. When you see an elephant grieving or in shock because it's lost someone that's close to it, I mean, that kind of moves you and makes you rethink your point of view on any living thing. When you see an elephant just bonding with a human and remembering that human and being grateful for what that person has done for it. Same way with orangutans. They show some very almost scary for anybody who doesn't want to see that. Very human traits in them, and
humans do that too, right? I feel like when I hear someone talking like this, it's like great, but you know what? You know how many human beings can't get a meal? And are dying of disease.
I hate that kind of thinking. It's like, oh, because I care about a fucking animal, I don't care about human beings anymore.
No, I'm just saying, like, let's be clear that maybe we should examine our focus. That's all.
Well, no,
I'm a robot. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, why does it have to be either or? Why can't I just be, a compassionate person overall? And what I'm saying about that, yeah, we know humans do that, but there are some people that believe animals don't do that, and that animals don't deserve a right to leave.
This movie.
Yeah, animals.
Cyrus, why don't you go shave your cat, put some glue on yourself, roll around in it, and maybe I'll like you a little bit. Let's test this theory out. All right,
she's been trying to get me to shave my cat since I got that. You with the shaved cat.
Just roll around the hair, dude. That's all I want to see. Right?
I'm not one. It's like, I'm not talking about you, Cyrus. I mean to anybody, because there will be some people like that. Well, you fucking love animals so much. Why don't you go fucking live with? Fuck off, man. The thing is that, again, not you, Cyrus. I'm not talking to you.
I've heard you be one of those people sometimes.
Yeah.
No, you never heard me say that.
I think I have heard the words, "It's just a fucking cat," come out of you.
Yeah, when my neighbor is calling the police on me and trying to get me to go to jail over a fucking cat, yeah, I'm just kind of like,
cats, but orangutans,
yeah,
man, they're awesome.
I ain't going to jail for no fucking cat.
Killer blowjobs anytime you feel like it from those things. Man.
Yeah.
Those trunks are multi-purpose.
Yeah, do you know what a gerbil will do for your ass? I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's one, seriously, I'm very practical when it comes to animals. It's like, I'm not going to have fucking invite an elephant over to sit at my table for dinner when I'm eating, because of that.
That'd be cool if you did.
Elephants have very good table manners.
Yeah, what if the elephant was going to marry your daughter?
And what if it cooked a Boston cream pie for dessert?
I saw an article like this propaganda for the Klan, and it said it made me laugh because it said, if this gorilla could play basketball, would you let your daughter marry him? And I'm like, and I said to myself, if he made enough fucking money, yeah. You know how much money
that gorilla could be the next LeBron James.
Yeah, shit. If you know how much money a basketball playing gorilla would make, yeah, goddamn right.
Hell yeah.
Well, anyone out there thinking about taking care of an elephant, just don't wash behind its ass. That's all.
Go ahead head first. Something I'm just gonna give my rating here. With a combination of great 3D for me and a good balance of what it takes to bring attention to a lot of young people out there who need to see this kind of movie. I thought it did its job well. I do give it a full price, knowing very well some of the problems that you guys had with it too. The 3D can be a problem for you, and a lot of times people do come out feeling like, well, I feel helpless. I mean, I give it to you. That would probably be there should probably be a good spot here where it says, if you would like to help, this is what you can do. But at the same time, the movie runs the risk of being preachy. So I think it did take a good standoff approach and just let you see more than just being really heavy-handed with any kind of overly preachy message. That's me.
Okay.
Well, I mean, in that vein, to me, I feel like it pulled an Alex Jones, where it's real good about telling you what the problem is, but cut you off at suggesting a solution for it. It's a beautiful looking movie. I can certainly give it that. But I tend to feel with these kind of, these IMAX big animal documentaries, they're so short, and there's just so much of what I've seen on Discovery Channel or Animal Planet. I can't justify not just watching it that way. For what it gave me in 3D and even the beauty of it, when I think about actually paying the IMAX money for it, I'm just not feeling it. So it washes out to be, somewhere like a low matinee, maybe even a high rental, because I would only want to watch this on TV. Matter of fact, I would enjoy it even more because I wouldn't have to invest so much into it, and I could actually just focus on it.
All right.
Go ahead. I'm pointing at you, robot.
Why are you pointing at me?
What I do?
Why does it matter to you when I do my review?
Fighting over to have the last word.
No. Well, the thing is,
wrong.
That's asshole. But, no, I mean it is. I mean, you're right. I see exactly what you're saying, Leon. And the thing is that as far as a movie, I mean, especially in IMAX, you're gonna pay full price regardless.
Right.
It's not there's no matinee, no rental or anything like that. But the thing is, for what it was, I appreciate it. Then again, I mean, it's really hard for me to tell somebody to go out of their way to really go see this in an IMAX. As much as I enjoyed it, I know a lot of people just aren't. I know they're just not gonna. It's not gonna justify the whole experience. But this is one of those movies where I would give it 2 ratings because it's just so damn hard.
Yeah.
If you really do like these types of things, especially if you want to take your kids, I mean, I think they'll enjoy the hell out of it. It would be definitely a full price. If you're just somebody who you want to know, you want a little bit more information about what is exactly going on, you probably should just stay home and just watch it on TV, really, or just rent it, when it comes out. But at least for me, I would say I did enjoy the experience, so I'm going to give it a full price. But then again, I didn't pay for it.
Exactly.
Do we ever pay for anything that we give these money ratings to?
That's true. It's true. But no, for everybody else, just rent it. It's a rental.
Okay. I think for me, I love nature documentaries. Like a big fan. I love watching nature documentary series more than anything because you do get so much bang for your buck and extensive stories, and you get lots of information. You get an education when you're watching something, and I think that's great. This is not an education for anyone but the littlest of children who just have no idea. And I do support that. I think that's great. I think it's great that movies like this exist and are being made. I do. They're just not really for adults on the whole when you can think about how much money's being paid. I mean, the biggest entertainment I got here was because it kept going like, okay, now here's the elephants and they're getting ready, and I hear the monkeys, they're getting ready. I thought there was going to be a gang fight at some point. Kept switching back and forth. I'm like, when you're a shark. I was laughing to myself just thinking about that. But I wasn't terribly impressed with the 3D. Like I said, there's points you're like, yeah, okay, it's immersive, but you're not really doing anything creative or that interesting with it. More than anything, it's just kind of giving me a headache because I have to keep my head strictly straight upright because if I tilt it even an inch, it gets double imaged. I was like, wow, this is as good as they've gotten with this technology at this point. I'm going to give it a low matinee, and that is mainly in consideration of the fact that, yes, people should bring their little kids to go see this. This is the sort of thing that might light that spark in them that, years later as an adult, they'll never forget that type of empathy, the type of empathy we should be putting in all children early on and teaching them to experience. But for a grown-up, yeah, don't go see this by yourself.
So you give it a full price?
No, low matinee.
No, you can't pay matinee at IMAX.
Look,
just get over it, dude. You can't do it.
You want me to say 3 stars? I'll say 3 stars. You want to say thumb sideways, but slightly tilted up? Yes. Okay.
You're confusing everybody. The poor kids.
A C plus? Is that what you want?
Cyrus said it was matinee. Well, it's fucking full price right there.
I'm not paying full price because Cyrus told me I should only pay matinee for it.
Yeah.
And if that's what happens, then they deserve the lobotomy that they'll probably get at some point.
All right,
it's necessary to call the cops on me.
Cyrus is not a real person.
Now let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're wasting time. Leon needs to go find another orangutan head to put on his gold chain right now.
Tang, orangutan.
Follow 2 extraordinary people who have devoted their lives to rescuing and nurturing these orphans. To give them a second chance to grow up and run wild.